after watching the previous Choose Your Own ending shorts involving the Canterlot High play, we finally get to see what the play is going to be like, what bits of it. And all I could say is that it can be entertaining, well, for the audience at least, but for how it looks like upon seeing it, it feels like Reality was the one who did all the script. I know full well that Principal Celestial or the other teachers didn't come up with a script this so messed up. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but I really think that the idea of having stuff like this compared to Digging, which I think the scene where we see Twilight, Flash, and Reality talking to each other about discos and stuff is something that doesn't usually exist in the world that they live in. But when we reach to the next part where we see Rainbow Dash becoming a fairy or a godmother just trying to give Reality her dreams on becoming a disco dancer, I think that the script probably had a random direction. It's a real random direction. And the real thing is, I didn't even get to the endings, but I'm gonna get to them later. Let me just say right now that I will say that what it's trying to do, it's kind of like the continuation of what Canterlot High will prove with people getting together after the events of the first movie. Because mainly the fact that during that movie they were into groups, and then in the sequels there are so many friendships. So this is kind of like the first play that they had after the first movie, because it kind of feels like this is the first play that they did in such a long time. I'm really serious. Other than the Fall Formal, it kind of feels like this is the first time they're doing a play. And as for what we see, Snippets and Snails will find each other like they usually do, and this actually caused the bell to be broken down, which was actually the thing that Fluttershy needed to do. And without anything to do in the situation that she's in, you get a choice of Sunset Shimmer, who is the director, Twilight Sparkle, and Applejack. Since that there was no other option, Sunset Shimmer had to go out on stage, which is not part of the script whatsoever, and she basically had to think of something in order to get the play going, while also trying to actually get the audience invested. If I was ever in this situation, I would probably just give up, because this ending isn't terrible, but it's something that they probably want to do in order to have Sunset have an ending in these shorts. Mainly the fact that out of all the endings I've seen, I don't think that there was a lot of endings involving Sunset Shimmer. Sure, there was one from tech support, but with the multiple characters that this show has, they wanted to at least have Sunset do something in this short. And the way that she actually tried to actually help the short work is something that people will probably enjoy from her character, but for me personally, since I've watched this for the first time, it's there. And I honestly think that for what it's trying to do, I won't consider this something I won't consider this the top pick of the endings I have for this short. Yes, I'm really sorry. For anyone who actually enjoyed this ending, I do apologize, but we're not in 2018, we're in 2020. Equestria Girls is either canceled or on a hiatus, and looking at this right now, it's mostly dated, and the fact that 2018 is officially 2 years old. So the ending involving Twilight Sparkle is just using her telekinesis, which is helpful, and that's basically it. That's basically all she needed to do, is have Twilight use her telekinesis, and also having Fluttershy finally doing her role on ringing the bell. And that's how this short ends. It's a great way to end it off, but in all honesty, Twilight only used her telekinesis because there was no other option whatsoever for her to help Fluttershy to get her part out in front of the crowd. As for Applejack, considering that she isn't part of this play involving the other characters, she had to become a talking tree, which is a reference from the Diary of the Wimpy Kid book. Well, Greg Heffley is a talking tree, and he sings a song that wasn't part of the Wizard of Oz movie. I really got nothing else to say here. It's just basically Applejack being a tree because inspiration from Diary of the Wimpy Kid book. But anyway, her role in this is just basically kind of like Sunset Shimmer, except the fact that she's just trying to help Fluttershy do the role, like ringing the bell. Even though that Fluttershy didn't do anything wrong, it was actually Sip and Snail's responsibility for wrecking the play. And I think out of all the endings I've seen from this, I can say that Twilight was the best one. And for this being somewhat of a finale of the Canterlot's High play itself, I really got nothing else to address. I'm really serious. I'm not saying that this was a bummer or anything or a whimper, but considering that this is really what we expect, what we've been waiting for involving the play of Canterlot, it's basically the play itself and the fact that it's just so all over the place. The plays that I've seen in high school were nothing like this. And if you're going to correct me on what I say about constructive criticism in the last short, where it's mainly about how to make the play better with the sets that Applejack made by herself and the fact that she just doesn't like the other ideas from her friends and photo finish, I can understand that, but when I look at this short, it feels like the other shorts involving the Canterlot's High play, it kind of feels like it's out all over the place without some kind of direction. And the fact that the audience actually approves of this, even with all three endings, I know they're not that heartless, but the other reaction that they can do other than booing is just awkward faces and just talking to each other on what they found the bits of the play really bizarre. I don't know, maybe it's the fact that Equestria Girls is just trying to actually do something in order to make this a continuous digital series, but I honestly think that the writing of these shorts would have been much more better if the play wasn't so all over the place with different ideals. Not saying that it's terrible, but jeez, I honestly think that watching this for preparation of this, I honestly think that it will probably be an interesting finale. I know this is a choose your own ending short, but the thing is, this isn't like the 14 shorts that I reviewed earlier this month in the first 2 weeks. This is basically the first time Hasbro is doing the choose your own ending, and even though that the choose your own endings that they did in the last ones that I reviewed were considered better, but at the same time, since that they're actually new to this, they really need some kind of experience on how to make these kind of work when it comes to shorts like this. As far as I'm concerned, it feels like everything I've seen in this short feels like it's crammed into everything as possible while also being a bit confusing at the same time. I know some people may see this unlike I do, but that's just basically what I see in this short. So the rating I'm going to give this is a 6 out of 10. And the ending I pick is Twilight. Mainly the fact that, well, the other endings aren't really interesting in my point of view. Some may say something good about Sunset and maybe for Applejack, but for me, I think that Twilight is pretty much the choice I would pick if I was watching this during my spare time. Yeah, a really whimper to actually to give this short somewhat of a weird rating or mediocre rating, but at the same time, I honestly think that this 9th choose your own ending is probably way more confusing than I thought, and this is up there above tech support. And then people are just going to say how much I just don't see plays like they do if they were part of a play in high school. I don't have to be in all of the educations in school in order to become a better person. It's called not being accustomed to. You should understand that.